I think what caused me to stand up and fight for marriage equality more than anything else was my family's unique history. My father was born in a Japanese relocation camp back in 1943 in Gila River, Arizona. And I think based on what they went through and the experiences of his family, that always kind of made me want to stand up and fight for what's right and what's fair. And in a sense, fight for the little guy, because I felt like no one really stood up and fought for them in a time when there was just extreme, paranoia and hysteria following Pearl Harbor. And really 120,000 Japanese Americans were forcibly evacuated from their homes all over the West Coast and moved out to these isolated desert locations. And to me, it's their experiences and the things that they persevered through that made me want to stand up and fight. I believe in marriage equality because I think the right to marry is a fundamental human right that all humans should share. As an adopted child, it always bothered me that a lot of people try to prevent gay couples, single people, whatever, from adopting children. Should gay couples be able to adopt kids? Absolutely. The most important thing when it comes to adoption is that kids have a supportive, loving home, no matter what. You can't put a face or a label on love. I mean, imagine some of the funny looks that my family got. I mean, here I am, this overgrown white guy with a tiny little Japanese dad, and my grandmother, I'm taller than her when I'm standing on my knees. So yeah, we had a lot of people looking at us funny over the years. But the love that I felt when I was in that house, and my parents provided that home, for me, that's the most important thing. There was an issue, though, in Arkansas that came up a couple years ago. I think it was in 2007. And it was some measure that was proposed called something like the Arkansas Unmarried Couples Adoption Ban or something stupid like that. Anyway, basically the translation was pretty clear to me. Gays can't adopt. It was clear. Everybody understood that. Why didn't they just call it what it was? And it passed with flying colors. And it's things like that that are just so discriminating, so dangerous, and can really do a lot of damage in places like that in the South, where I've lived the last 4 years, and still has a long way to go, and that perpetuates in other parts of the country. So it's dangerous, it irritated me, and like I said, as an adopted child, I took a lot of offense to it. I think as a professional athlete who speaks out about social issues, you always run the risk of alienating some of your friends and kind of reducing your marketability, and it's big business, so people are always fearful for that. I've gotten some letters from some high school teenage boys who have I guess, thanked me for their support and told me that they have been forced to think about these issues in a different way. And ultimately, those are the people I'm trying to reach the most. This is clearly a human rights issue, and I think it couldn't be any more black and white for me. More people need to stand up, more people need to speak out. There was a time where I think the U.S. was revered as kind of a leader in human rights issues. Why not get back to that? If you stand up for what you believe in, that's the most important thing.